I'm Elyssa, and I'm a second-year graduate student in International Agricultural Development at UC Davis, where I've also been working at the Horticulture Innovation Lab as one of the Trellis Fund coordinators for over the past year. And so this afternoon, I'm going to talk about Trellis Fund, past, present, and future. As with most stories, why don't we start at the beginning? Trellis Fund was the brainchild of one of my predecessors at what was then HortCrisp, Peter Shapland. He identified a key bottleneck in the extension of new horticultural information and technologies, which was that small local development organizations capable of doing great work were frequently being overlooked for funding simply because they were not competitive for larger grants, limiting their ability to provide these much needed services to their communities. So Trellis was designed specifically to target these kinds of organizations, with the goal of providing funding for short-term projects, as well as building organizational capacity to write competitive grants in the future. But Trellis is not only a grant-making program. Another key part is that winning projects are also matched with a U.S. graduate student who has relevant expertise from either UC Davis, University of Florida, North Carolina State, or University of Hawaii. Here the goal is twofold. On the one hand, these students are the agricultural experts of tomorrow, and through their universities, as well as the Horticulture Innovation Lab, they are able to tap into a wealth of information and resources that these in-country organizations would otherwise not have access to, which in many ways is kind of the real prize of this program. But on the other hand, by exposing U.S. graduate students to the rewards and challenges of working on projects in developing countries, Trellis Fund aims to broaden their career horizons, hopefully encouraging them to apply their expertise to these sorts of issues in the future. But overall, Trellis gives them an experience that will inform the way they approach the rest of their lives. For example, one of the first Trellis students, Mark Lundy, recently wrote about how his experience working on a tomato project in Malawi opened his eyes to the simultaneously global and local nature of agriculture. Seeing the knowledge, passion, and commitment of the people in the organization he worked with inspired him to become a similar expert in California, where he now works in cooperative extension. More recently, in the last round of Trellis, graduate student Dev Padel from University of Florida worked with Kayaba Management Foundation in Ghana to build research capacity in horticulture. While the 6-month project is now over, Dev continues to work remotely with Kayaba towards the goal of publishing a journal article based on their robust analysis of farmer needs. Now to impress you with some numbers. To date, we have awarded 52 projects in 16 countries spanning 3 continents, from seed saving in Guatemala to IPM in Bangladesh. These projects have engaged approximately 6,420 farmer participants, 71% of which are women, developed 180 demonstration plots, and conducted 184 training and extension meetings. But this is what we have already done. What are we doing now? Where are we going? Well, at the moment, we're actually in the process of reviewing proposals for our 5th round of Trellis, some of you are actually involved in this process. But when we sat down to write this latest RFP, we really had to think to ourselves, what is it that we want Trellis to be? What makes a good Trellis project, and what did we learn from this last round that we can apply to improve the program going forward? One of the biggest challenges we faced this last year was communication between Trellis Fund and the in-country organizations. I'll have to admit that we got one too many emails from students saying that their organization had asked them about what the deal was with funding, as opposed to contacting us directly. I take this as an example of how the system we set up, albeit unintentionally, was actually placing a little bit more emphasis on building relationships with students than with the organizations themselves. So in this new phase, we're trying to balance this out. We altered our timeline for requesting proposals so that we can more deeply review the projects and get in direct contact with the most promising ones. Our aim is to create a strong line of communication and understanding between our awarded organizations and the Trellis Fund team, so that by the time a student is matched, we are confident that they will be able to effectively engage with our organization, maximizing the probability of a successful collaboration. We also hope that this will lead to even stronger partnerships between these organizations and the Horticulture Innovation Lab in the future. But there is more to be done. For example, Cambodia is one of the Feed the Future countries Trellis has not yet worked in. So I actually welcome this opportunity we have together now to discuss with any or all of you how Trellis Fund can help local organizations here in Cambodia in further extending horticultural science and knowledge. Thank you.